What's up, Marvelites? You are watching This Week in Marvel. I'm Ryan, a.k.a. Agent M, and we are here at the Marvel Universe of Superheroes exhibit at MoPOP in Seattle to talk about the creation of comics. And it's really cool. Like right here, you can see this depiction of the old Marvel bullpen, which is awesome. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, so many Marvel legends in this piece. But really, when you walk around here, you see the formation of so much, and it all comes back to the comic books. And we're gonna dive in with a couple special guests to show you how comics are made. Okay, so when you're talking about the creation of comics, you want to start with the cover, because that's the first thing so many people see. Of course, we've got this amazing cover of X-Men #1 behind us, but we've got real covers here, the originals. And to talk about the creation of covers, I brought Ben Saunders from the University of Oregon, your professor of comic studies, which is so cool, and also the chief curator of this amazing exhibit. Now tell us, what are we going to learn about this cover to Giant Size X-Men #1?
Well, this is obviously a legendary cover in terms of the history of the Marvel Universe. This is the cover that introduces the new team to the Marvel Universe. There was originally penciled, this group of figures here, the new characters bursting through the page, were penciled by Gil Kane, and then you can't see any pencils because it was then inked over by Dave Cockrum. So it means this is one of those things where you can see the pencilers and inkers actually exchanging roles and collaborating to produce what is one of the most famous images in Marvel X-Men history.
Okay, so we're here with Seanan McGuire, writer X-Men Black, Spider-Geddon's really awesome story with Ghost Spider, a.k.a. Spider-Gwen. I'm really excited for that. That's not what we're here to talk about necessarily, though. So, you know, with comic books, you start with the cover, you get to see what's happening, but the story starts really with the script. And of course, as a writer, there's so much into that. And I wanted to talk real quickly about the Marvel method, because the Marvel method was this brilliant way of doing stories that allowed us for the writer to say, here's what's gonna happen, here are the big plot points, and then the artist would take it and they would lay out the story. They added so much to it through that. But for you, Seanan, how do you put together your comic book scripts?
Generally what you'll do is you start with a blank page and you say, this is page one of what I want to get across. And you start breaking it down panel by panel. As a writer, what I'll do on my first pass through is over-describe every panel and say, you know, two people standing in front of a drafting board. The drafting board must have 4 items on it. We must see the progression. And that's because I'm still filling it in for myself. And once I've finished blocking out a page, I'll put the dialogue into the panels. But I'll storyboard each page and go, is this too many words? Have I over-cluttered the space that I'm leaving for my artist to play with? Because my artist needs room. The best Marvel comics, part of why the Marvel method works, part of why Marvel comics tend to create so many huge, enduring, iconic images, is because you leave space for the artist.
Of course, we've got here some Silver Surfer script pages and then art pages. And what I want to do now is actually talk to an artist, maybe see some more stuff here at this exhibit, really focus in on the interior pages. We just so happen to have some pages from Daredevil 181 by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson, which are pretty cool to see up close. Now, you as a comic book artist, can you tell us a little bit about the process of making a comic, you know, going from get the script pages, or what is it like for you?
Well, I get my script and then I read through the whole thing and get an idea of where it's going as much as I can. Sometimes you only get maybe 2 or 3 pages, but if you can get all the script, that's the best. As I'm going along, I'll sketch the first thing that comes to my mind. Then after I'm done, I can go back through it and go, oh, I have better ideas now, you know? And then you realize, you see the whole process of the whole story, and then you just find the most important things and you make those the biggest. Like here, this is the most important moment. And also, he has no background. I was thinking about that. I'm like, that is so good.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, it's all focus, because for the reader, because that's what you have to think of also. You can't think of just what you want to do and how you want to, you got to think of the reader.
So we've seen so many aspects of the creation of comics, and it's been amazing. But when you come to this exhibit, there's some things that you cannot experience anywhere else. Isn't that right, Ben?
Yeah, that's right. One of the most wonderful things about seeing the hand-drawn originals is that you can see details that maybe don't register when something is reproduced at a smaller size. And you can see the artist's technique. This is a particularly nice example because you can see that John Romita Sr., who inked this piece by Herb Trimpe, has actually used a knife or some other kind of edged object. I was once told actually he used a coin and would roll it to get a sort of a tread effect in the ink. So they've made these textured effects of motion lines and explosions, impact marks, all through literally scoring the surface of the inked artwork. And that's the kind of thing that you can only see when you look at an original.
Yeah, it's really cool. Now you guys need to come to Marvel Universe of Superheroes and see all this original art for yourself. Thank you to Ben, Clayton, Seanan, and everyone for hosting us. This has been incredible. You guys, go make comics. Get your stuff in an exhibit like this someday. It's awesome. I'm Ryan, and this is Marvel, your universe.